The word miraculous in Pythagorean gematria sums to 42, the miraculous catch of 153 fish. A little side note, the first ever Bible published was known as the 42-line Bible. It was also called the Gutenberg Bible. The Gutenberg Bible was of 66 books, and the gematria of Gutenberg Bible is 66, like the length of the book. If you write out the word 33 and sum it in Pythagorean, it sums to 66. The first book in the Bible is Genesis, which has a gematria of 33. We'll talk more about these numbers. We'll understand them greater and greater as we move along. The miraculous catch is in John 21:11. So Simon Peter climbed back into the boat and dragged the net ashore. It was full of large fish, 153, but even with so many, the net was not torn. There was a time in my life when I would read the Bible and question why the numbers were used. This language of gematria, this understanding of numerology, has given me new insight and understanding, and that's what I want it to have for you. You don't have to be a Christian. It doesn't matter what your religion or spirituality is. This knowledge is for all. It has the power to awake and enhance understanding for many. Something else I want to show you. The word fish in Jewish gematria sums to 113. Notice on the right side of the screen, fish 113. If you write out 153 and sum it in Pythagorean gematria, it also sums to 113. These are all very special numbers. April 23rd is the 113th day of the year. It is the day that leaves 252 days remaining. There are all sorts of tributes on our calendar to numerology and gematria. April 23rd is a date that connects to fish in gematria. Notice how fish equals 252 in English gematria, 113 in Jewish. The miraculous catch happened at the Sea of Galilee in the Bible. Notice that the Sea of Galilee, as it says on the screen, is approximately 53 kilometers across, or 33 miles. Again, this number 33, very special number. Sea of Galilee. Notice the gematria of Galilee is 33. Sea of Galilee equals 52 and 61 with the S exception. 61 is a number connected to God, as is 33, which we will get to. The circumference of 53 kilometers is interesting because the word minister has a gematria of 53. The Sea of Galilee is where Jesus began his ministry. Religion itself also has a gematria of 53. The word Catholic has a gematria of 35. The reflection in the Catholic faith, you do 53 Hail Marys to the Rosary. Rosary has that gematria of 53. These numbers are incredibly important to spirituality. So some more 33s. Again, Galilee equals 33. The Greek spelling of fish, Ixoye, has gematria of 33. That word means fish in Greek. Darwin and so much of science has 33 coded into it, but just notice that Darwin has that gematria of 33. Darwin would die on a date with 33 numerology. Einstein would come to the country in the year 33. This number is huge, coded all through spirituality, all through science, geography, history. We'll get to why. That's coming. The joke that you sometimes see in the symbol in chips has gematria of 33 and 42, both numbers that connect to fish. Fish in Pythagorean equals 24, the reflection of 42, what it is in simple English, and with the S exception, fish is also 33. The symbol is also known as the mandorla, which has gematria of 33. Up in Seattle, there's a fish chain called Ivers. Ivers has the gematria of 33. Seattle, very Masonic town. Here's a symbol. On the left, a symbol of the Vesica Piscis enclosing Jesus, who would die at 33. This symbol having many connections to 33. To the right is Guam's emblem. Notice it is the same symbol, the Vesica Piscis, the Mandorla. Guam has Gematria of 42, just like fish. If you're out there in Guam, hello, please spread this knowledge. So, with regards to God, I want to elaborate more on the other methods and how they connect in the real world. Notice that God equals 156 in English Gematria. The spiritual explanation of how God created the earth is in Genesis of the Bible. In science, it is the Big Bang. Notice the Gematria of Genesis and Big Bang both equal 33. When you write out the word 33 and sum it, it sums to 156, this number connected to God through English Gematria. In doing this research, you come to find that the numbers that are of greatest significance all share relationships, all connect back to God. Remember, Gematria is based in sacred geometry, which is believed to be the fingerprints of God and how He created this world by the numbers. Another example, The Truman Show, the movie. This movie is about playing God over a man's life. It released on June 5th, the 156th day of the year. The film is named after the 33rd president, Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman created the CIA, NSA, and all the things that are used to spy on us. This movie is about surveying a man's life, broadcasting it live as a TV show, and him not having a clue about it. His name is Truman Burbank, which has a Gematria of 156. Again, the movie came out on the 156th day of the year. What's interesting is his name, the small way, equals 48. Truman Burbank equals 48. So does Jim Carrey. And in simple English Gematria, so does the word live. A re-scrambling of the word evil, which I've always thought is so interesting. So in our lives, in a way, we're all kind of like Truman Burbank. There are people in this world who are keeping secrets from us, keeping us in the dark, and they're using that knowledge to govern over us and manipulate us. And one of the ways they do that most effectively is with the news, the nightly news. Look at the Gematria of news and nightly news. News equals 61. God equals 61 in Jewish Gematria. Nightly news equals 156. God equals 156 in English Gematria. Again, God in Jewish Gematria equals 61. So often when people speak of God, they talk about miracles. The word miracle has a Gematria of 61. In the Christian faith, when people go to worship God, they go to church. At least often they do. Church also has the Gematria of 61. For a couple years, there's been a song on the radio played heavily called Take Me to Church. In Pythagorean Gematria, Take Me to Church sums to 61. No coincidence. In sports, this number showed up big in the year 61 when Roger Maris broke Babe Ruth's record of 61 home runs. Check this out. The home run record for Babe Ruth lasted 34 years before Roger Maris broke it. Look at how the word prime, the big way, simple English equals 61, and the small way, Pythagorean, equals 34. He broke the record of 34 years with the 61st home run. He hit the home run off pitcher Evan Tracy Stallard, who has name Gematria of 61. Can't help but notice that Stallard equals 33. Also, Stallard was wearing the number 39 at the time, and the catcher was wearing 22. Add those numbers together, it sums to 61. Also, if you write out the word 39 and sum it in Pythagorean, it sums to 61. Roger Maris is playing for the New York Yankees. In New York, the number 39 is of great importance. Check this out. Another example of how these numbers show up. New York, a very important state. Major cultural influence for the world. Look at this. New York was established July 26, 1788. That's a date with 39 numerology. 7 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8. NY in simple English Gematria equals 39. New York in Pythagorean Gematria equals 39. It's the Empire State. Empire equals 39. The United Nations there is 39 floors tall. Madison Square Garden, one of its main attractions, has a gematria of 39. Madison and Pythagorean gematria equals 39. Madison was the president. His vice president was George Clinton, who was the first governor of New York. George Clinton had the exact same birthday as New York, being born in the year 1739. That's a typo. It should say 1739. But notice how George, not only is he born in the year 39 with the same birthday as New York, he has a name that equals 39. And Clinton equals 33. Again, he was vice president to James Madison. James Madison once made 39 proposals that became the Bill of Rights on June 8th, 1789. He made those 39 proposals on a date with 39 numerology. 39 signers on the Declaration. Very important number to the Freemasons and Zionists, who we will talk more about. With regards to more 39s in New York, Revelation is based on the 39 books in the Old Testament. New York is the 11th state. If you sum 1 through 11, it totals 66. Revelation is the 66th book based on the 39 books in the Old Testament. Notice New York's date of establishment, July 26th, 726. Revelation in English gematria equals 726. It's also a date with numerology of 121. Revelation equals 121. And again, based on the 39 books, which New York has so many connections to. Also in Jewish gematria, 0 doesn't count in numerology, so the Jewish gematria breaks down to 11. New York, the 11th state. Not only is New York coded off of Revelation, this entire nation is. This nation was built from Revelation, from these numbers of significance. I want to tell you about the most recent World Series that just concluded at the beginning of November. November 1st concluded the 111th World Series, 11-1, the conclusion of the 111th World Series. The only game that New York won in the 111th World Series was Game 3, where they won 3-9 in the land where 39 is so important. The final pitcher that pitched for the Royals against the Mets, who won 3-9, was wearing the number 39 as you see on the screen. Also, if you follow my work, earlier in the day before this game, I gave a major clue that the score might finish 3-9, and it did. This is because this world we live in is governed by people who are very much numerologists. This is a very important practice to them, and they rig many things by this, including sports games. In spring training, I predicted that the Mets would be in the World Series. I thought they'd win it as well. They did not. I now know why. But the reason I thought that is because New York equals 111. It was the 111th World Series. Turned out New York lost to the team from the 39th parallel, who was coached by a man named Ned Yost, a name a lot like Ned York, and the name, or New York, and Ned Yost equals 39 as well. The Mets lost on November 1st when Matt Harvey, the starting pitcher, in the bottom of the ninth, gave up the first run of the game and allowed the tying runner to reach second base with no outs. This happened on the 111th pitch. The batter who hit the ball stepped to the plate with a 111 batting average in the World Series, the 111th World Series. The Royals won. The head of the royal family is Queen Elizabeth, who's born April 21st, the 111th day of the year. If anything were to happen to her, the next person to take over the family would be Charles, who would become King Charles. The word king equals 41 in simple English gematria. The Royals won the World Series 4-1. In Jewish gematria, king equals 66. Charles is currently 66 years old. The name Charles equals 66. World Series equals 66. By understanding this knowledge, you can see the way a web of events is scripted together in this world. From understanding this knowledge, I have seen how sports are synced up with major current events clearer than I ever have before. You can too with this knowledge.